So let me tell you about being harassed for the dress code at Mason County. All the while, these cops being raped by Hamilton County's people and then pressing on my side and my neck to the point I killed myself. Well, let me tell you about Jeff Horde and DNA theft with Susan Christie Smith Halverson and Chelsea Ann Rideout and their goddamn bankrupt cannabis family. Oh well. Boo hoo. Let me tell you about having a gun in my heart here, a gun right here in my side, being bludgeoned. Oh well. Let me tell you about Comprehend and Seth Bavard, and him sitting with afflicted men, and Cindy Spence, Aaron Flack's family, playing with Comprehend. Let me tell you about Deputy Gill's wife going from Stephanie Gollenstein Schumacher's drug peddling department to Comprehend. Oh well. It's not suspicious at all, is it? Shall I talk about Associate Chief Justice Lawrence O'Neill's son? Associate Chief Justice Lawrence O'Neill's son, Nova Scotia. Yeah, Connor. Another uncircumcised male. Man, Mr. Boggs must like the Canadians. Oh, and let me tell you about that shipment from up their way to Nelson County. Who do we know in Nelson County? Tied to the Rouses. Moo. Just like when Megan and Colin had that apartment. My, I haven't seen Craig in forever. How is he? You all can find Megan's money when you clean up the vanity. Oh, I hear Nan's wind chime. It sounds like a singing bowl. I've had it up to here with the medical gaslighting. I really don't care what they believe. So let me tell you about my sister threatening to set my bed on fire. One morning I woke up when I was 7 or 8 years old to that little battery-operated taser injecting into my leg. Man, my whole body, lower body, felt like it was on fire. All for sleeping on my side and sleeping past, I guess, 7. Farm kids. My father was an asshole. Asshole, 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 only for people like Brian White to say he was a good man. My father was a good provider, that's about it. Money came from someplace, I have no clue. We worked our asses off. But let me tell you about the Whites and the Baxters. It's only fitting Tracy goes into pulmonary, isn't it? Oh, they get offended, oh so easily, don't they? Oh well. So let me tell you about being smothered and then resuscitated. I'm so glad they've been showing Donnie Darko again. The scene to pay attention to is when the therapist who puts him under hypnotherapy and he reaches down his pants says, I want to increase his medication and do more hypnotherapy. Yeah, Like I wanted to tell Rick that night, man, you trained these older women well, you and the older generation. You trained these women well. I'll tell you a story about poor old Rick, Kenton, and Tucker. So let me try to explain my situation, the stress and all, only for them to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Let me tell you about Mary Toller, Donald Toller's wife. She came on the school bus when she was bus monitor one day, never saying to us, or I didn't hear her, "Don't sit in the back seats." She came on that bus as disgusting as could be and was like, "Your butts are now mine." Well, that's interesting to know, especially with the Orangeburg Volunteer Fire Department story my father told me, and that your husband works for Dravo, and what I went through with those men sometimes. The whole thing is nothing but a nightmare. I would like to be left alone without people just intervening and interjecting their thoughts and processes. I shouldn't have to take Valium to sleep at night. They chalk it up to cannabis, when in reality, cannabis is the only thing that has ever helped as much as it does without me wanting to kill myself. Them triggering me while I'm on it is the reason that other things happen. I want my dog. Oh. You know, I always wanted to go in and do a lot with my life, too. They made it impossible. No, there goes the bathroom light again. The last time they slammed my jaw shut, it shattered what was left of my teeth, so I had them all pulled. You can ask Tiffany Prince about that. They did it to her, too. Tiffany Prince was another girl. I don't care how rotten she's been in her adult life. Tiffany Prince was another student that they treated like shit. I was pretty sure of her sexual orientation when we were kids. That's why she liked me. No offense. She has a beautiful relationship now, or what I see. When they entrap kids like us into that vicious, disgusting thing that they do, when they entrap kids like me into that disgusting, vicious thing that they do, it really fucks with them. Yeah, we can make choices. But whatever. Anyway, another thing that I found absolutely disgusting, like I said, was their conversion reparative therapy. They mashed my neck so long and hard that one of the vertebrae is fucked up in it. We can't stand that language. You people raped me. The Judicial Circuit of Mason County raped me when I was a child. Then them doing their thing. When John Estelle and Stockton Wood became elected, or when John Estelle was hired, came in as a partner with that law firm, and Stocky was a prosecutor, everything went downhill from there for me. And let me tell you about Donald and his racism and homophobia due to what he had been through. That's probably why he did the video voyeurism child porn productions. Just like me getting my jaw slammed shut on their farm. So if Taylor and Karen manage the finances and the assholes can't even send a fucking Christmas card, here's how many times I was injured on that goddamn farm. Only for their sick-ass family to fucking produce the goddamn child porn. Oh well. Boo-hoo. You admitted this in one of your reports. Yes, coming forward in good faith, and you assholes want to continue your goddamn bullying. So let me tell you about Chaplain Powell's ties to the DEA and their goddamn religious discriminatory bullshit. Let me tell you about Justin, his grandson, laced cannabis and drugs and rape. Oh well. It'd be easier if I would type the report out. No, they want to grab my writs. Here, let me show you this scar. Probably can't see it. It's where one of the perverts dug their nail into me. trying to detain me again one day because of he said, she said. So let me tell you why I killed myself. Wham! Sam Bavard threatened to harm his own children physically for sneaking more food that he didn't approve. Yeah, they told me about it. So Aaron choking to death was quite fitting for Sam's punishment, wasn't it? Not to be offensive but that's how Sam points it out with homosexuality. I see, it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts like a motherfucker, doesn't it? Oh well. So let me tell you about cop dick pic entrapment causing a vehicle accident after being hazed by Maysville Police Department with Grey Goose vodka. Oh well. They wanted to start their careers and keep my mouth shut, didn't they? Wanted to keep my mouth shut. Well, I can't say that I blame them. In Kentucky, the legislators have limited the ability of sex traffickers' rights to sue by the time they're 20. Well, it's hard to do when you're hazed and locked into their bullshit, isn't it? Especially when they're threatening to kill you. Oh well, so let me tell you about being raped. The men in black. Cool. Camo cops, they used to slip out from behind cedar trees on our farm. That's why I would have to be out on the farm at 5 p.m. alone. Just like the guys who would dress in the whole blacked out thing. I called them Ninja Navy SEALs with pocketfuls of analese. Let me tell you about Sam Bavard trespassing on our property in camo gear, too. As I stated, I tried to commit suicide because no one would take a statement. There might be here listening. I don't see anyone. No offense. No offense, God. Oh well. So let me see if I can find the picture of me putting the candy cane on the Christmas tree, only for my mother to be right behind me pretending to, this is what's gonna happen to you. It's all very symbolic in picture messages, especially when their medical professionals recommend the cannabis. They tell you not to take your cell phone into the room or the emergency room, but it's a violation of patient rights. I can't remember exactly everything you say, and you asked me to sign this discharge statement before actually allowing me to read the file. I'd prefer to read it before signing. No, and then force. So that's called coercion, making those documents legally unenforceable. But thanks for not letting anybody know that. Oh well. Just like with Myron Flower and Dale Anderson and Brown County, Ohio. Oh well. Let me tell you about Scioto County, Ohio, and Gail D. Massey, Congressman Massey's mother. Oh well. My chanting, part of the Tourette's, is one of the reasons they wrapped their elbow around me the last time. Be quiet. It's called Tourette's syndrome. You people helped create it by bludgeoning me. I apologize for my behavior. You refused to take a statement. I tried to kill myself because of the bullying. They claim because they were law enforcement that they were not subject to federal law. Mason County elected officials told me that they did not have to follow federal law as far as the detention center is concerned. So let me tell you about Corporal Werline, cannabis and dildos, Lisa Geary and federally illegal substances, Kim Razor and cannabis, Mr. Boggs and cannabis, and Commissioner McKay and cannabis. There wasn't a white person in the place that day at Orangeburg. Or a black person, I mean. There wasn't a black person or other minority at the fall festival. Not one. Just like in church, when we used to go to those camps, where are all the minorities? So I guess the best picture to describe what I went through, of course I did mine at Williams & Williams. What are they going to claim? Putting a gun to my head and Dad making me sign up for a credit card is illegal? Have fun. This one. Williams & Williams with the Jesus fishes. And let me tell you about the Holy Land of Mason County and their conversion reparative therapy program, in which they mash children for no reason because he said, she said. Cassandra Manning Patterson and her friends were allowed to hold hands around the American flagpole, chanting, Dear God, protect us from the federal government. Well, let me tell you about Kathleen Lofton and Cassandra being behind closed doors one day against federal law. I opened the door and I was like, I'm going to report you. And she was like, I'll write you up. She was like, and I said, I'm so scared. She wrote me up and Judy Kurtz threw me out of the technology program. Kathleen Lofton, another person, handing out a cough drop to a student. Anyway, Franklin, her husband, worked for DP&L. I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me correctly. Judy Kurtz, IT. Let me tell you about them accepting state and federal grant money to establish their own internet service provider that was shit, and the drugs over their IT system. Oh well. They didn't want to hear my story. They said I was a threat and blah, blah, blah. Oh well.